Ever heard a wild gaming rumor that sounded way too crazy to be true? Like, yeah, sure, there's a secret level in Super Mario 64 where you meet an alien plumber from space. But what if I told you that some of the most insane gaming myths actually turned out to be real? Buckle up, because today I'm diving into gaming myths that are actually true, the ones that seemed like nonsense but totally happened. Let's start with a legend so creepy it sounds like something straight out of the X-Files. The story goes like this. In 1981, an arcade cabinet called Polybius showed up in a few arcades in Portland, Oregon. The game was supposedly so addictive that players reported headaches, hallucinations, and even memory loss. And then, poof, it was gone, vanishing without a trace. Sounds fake, right? Well, here's the twist. While Polybius itself has never been officially found, there were government experiments involving video games. In the 1980s, the US military did in fact test reaction-based games on recruits. Whether Polybius was one of them? That's still up for debate. But the idea of the government secretly watching what games do to people? Yeah, that part is 100% real. If you grew up playing Pokemon, you probably remember Lavender Town, the eerie little ghost-filled village with that creepy music. But did you know that according to one long-standing myth, the original Japanese version of Pokemon Red and Green had music so disturbing that it allegedly caused kids to experience headaches, anxiety, and even worse? It sounds like a spooky internet hoax, but here's the truth. The original Lavender Town music did have high-frequency sounds that some kids found uncomfortable, and it was later altered in Western versions of the game. So while it may not have been some cursed melody that hypnotized children, the fact that the music was actually changed does give this myth some eerie credibility. Now, imagine a company making a game so bad that they have to bury it in the desert. That's exactly what happened with Atari's E.T. the Extraterrestrial in 1982. The game was so rushed and so unplayable that it's often called one of the worst video games of all time. The myth? Atari was so embarrassed that they secretly dumped thousands of unsold copies in a landfill in New Mexico. For decades, this story was shrugged off as gaming folklore, until 2014, when a group of game historians and filmmakers actually dug up the site and found the games. Yes, the burial was real. They literally unearthed stacks of ET cartridges, proving that sometimes when a game is bad enough, companies will actually hide the evidence. If you played GTA San Andreas in the early 2000s, you probably heard the rumors. Somewhere in the dense forests of Back O Beyond, Bigfoot was watching you. Players swore they caught glimpses of a huge, shadowy figure lurking in the trees, but Rockstar Games insisted he was never in the game. Well, you guess what? Bigfoot actually did make it into GTA, but not in San Andreas. He finally became officially canon in GTA 5, where you can complete a mission to actually hunt down a Sasquatch. Rockstar basically took the myth and made it real. Talk about fan service. Back in the early 90s, arcade games were brutal, but when Mortal Kombat was released on home consoles, something was missing: the blood. The Super Nintendo version completely censored the gore, but the Sega Genesis version had a little trick. Enter the infamous Abacab cheat code, and boom, blood was back in all its pixelated glory. So the myth that Mortal Kombat was censored? True. And the idea that Sega let players sneakily re-enable the violence? Also true. Ah, the golden days of cheat codes. So the next time you hear some wild gaming rumor, don't be so quick to call it fake, because as we've seen, sometimes the craziest myths turn out to be real. Did I miss any of your favorite gaming legends? Drop them in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more gaming deep dives. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you ever find Bigfoot in GTA, let me know.